Hello and welcome to Megawatt, the tech year in view. I'm Katie Scott and we're going to give you a rundown of this year's hottest news stories, and this time it's July through to December. Make sure you stay tuned. July and people finally got their mitts on the iPhone 3G. They queued up down the streets, and those who sat at home and tried to order through the O2 website had a whole load of problems because the website went pop. Aside from that, there was also the launch of the Skype 2 phone from 3, and apart from phones, we also had the launch of the MSI Windlike, the Advent 4211, which at £279 literally flew off the shelves. Nikon brought out the D700, and the biggest news story of the month was definitely the departure of Bill Gates, who said goodbye to Microsoft, which he founded all of those years ago. He said that there won't be a day of his life when he won't be thinking of Microsoft. Sob, sob. In August, we found out what Microsoft was going to do post Bill Gates, and they pumped 1,000 staff into the development of Windows 7. Aside from that, the world's cheapest laptop, the Impulse, launched at 65 quid. There were 3 digital compacts launched by Casio, and we also had news of 2 new phones from Sony Ericsson. First up, the C905 James Bond edition, and also the Xperia X5, which packed in an 8-megapixel camera and also 8 gigabytes of memory. Aside from that, there was a debate raging about kids' safety online. Garlic found that 75% of parents spy on what their children are looking at on the web, but children as young as 8 are still going on social networking sites such as Facebook when they really shouldn't. September, and we saw the Apple harvest come in with new iPod Touch and iPod Nano models. But aside from Apple, there were also phone launches. We had the Nokia Tube, and we also have Vodafone saying we've got the exclusive on the BlackBerry Storm. But the most exciting launch by far was the new Google Android G1. Okay, it's a new phone, but it's also a whole new system, and there's bound to be a host of new launches in 2009. Apart from that, there was Photokina in Germany, where we saw the launch of the Micro Four Third system with new cameras from Olympus as well as Panasonic. October was a month of laptop launches. First up was the Sony Vaio AW series, and then there was a new netbook from Asus. But the most exciting arrival was the PicoBook Pro from Apricot Computers. It was exciting because it was a brand that went down in the 80s, and it's revived itself with this new netbook. But Apple obviously came through and stole the limelight with the new MacBooks and MacBook Pros. The big deal being their unibody chassis and also the glass trackpads. There was also news from gamers with Far Cry 2 and also Little Big Planet. The BlackBerry Storm finally broke, and also we had our mitts on the LG Renoir. November saw a whole host of phone launches. First up was the HTC Touch Pro. There was also the LG Prada 2 for people who have money to burn, and for people who have money literally to flush down the toilet was the Motorola Aura with its £1,400 price tag. Aside from that, Packard Bell came through with a whole load of laptop launches, including a rather beautiful gaming laptop. But its most exciting launch was its first ever netbook, the Dot. December started with a snap, well, a £5,500 snapper to be exact, the Nikon D3X. This 24.4 megapixel camera is the new flagship model for Nikon, and it's expected to appeal to pros. But from Nikon to Nokia and the release of the much anticipated N97, this all-singing, all-dancing phone is meant to be one of the big sellers of 2009. But apart from that, the Philips Essence TV arrived, as did the BlackBerry Curve 8900. That was the Tech Year in View for 2008, our rundown of all of this year's hottest news stories. We're heading off now to celebrate the new year, but make sure you join us again in 2009 for more of the same. Thanks for watching.